All right, 2007 Oakland Raiders. Marcus Russell, Justin Fargas starting, Lamont Jordan and Rhodes coming in as our third down back. Ronald Curry, Joey Porter, nice young fresh Zach Miller, and on defense, Derek Burgess with the revival of his career, Warren Sapp, Tommy Kelly, Tyler Brayton, Nnamdi getting into his prime, Stuart Schwiegert, Michael Huff at the safeties, Kirk Morris and Thomas Howard. Move down Bing. We're going to try to get Darnell Bing a decent career going here, so let's go ahead and kick off this game.
Their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now it's Jackson. Fighting through, and he's got space. The 40, the 30. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 74 yards. So close, couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless,
Stephen Jackson just busted
Not only that,
first play
this
of
is
the
where
game.
you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jackson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you actually have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. John Gruden's return to the sideline, not going as planned thus far, but his Raiders do have it 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down. Russell. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
Let's highlight a big strength of this team, the offensive line led by Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson. All 3 were Pro Bowlers in 2017, but it didn't translate as well as they wanted on offense. Just 23rd in scoring and a 6-10 record.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Russell. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off season about our season open opponent. and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a
different story.
Long night.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw on second down. Russell. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it. But it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we turn our attention to the Rams here as the offense comes out. So many positive vibes around this club entering 2018. Their 3rd season back in L.A., a new stadium on the way. And coming off of last year, Charles, and you said this to me in the car on the way over, it's going to be interesting to see what this year brings.
That's because they will actually be the team that's hunted now.
And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Jackson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. With extra linebackers who brought a little bit of...
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they try the right side here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss. We're only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
On 3rd down, Russell. Over the middle, complete. That's Porter. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And they'll go on the ground. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Russell got his man complete over the middle. It's Porter. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-3 the score, and we're back to Oakland after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Looking to throw. Russell. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on 3rd down. Russell. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he had a nifty little deke juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
On 4th down, Russell. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there, taking it in from a yard out. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you could kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a handoff looking right. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Russell. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he missed it. It's no good, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Well, forget the field goal to try to tie this thing. They'll have a chance to take the lead here with 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. As his guys are in for 6, and the Rams are in for 6. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better that they work on, training camp, off-season work, OTAs, but also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
And now here come the Raiders. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go play action here on first down. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Russell. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A gain of 39 that time. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. And they'll go with the ground attack here. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on second down, Russell. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And his kick here is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And complete on the right side to Bennett. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. On the run, this is Jackson, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 6-point game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this one is incomplete. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Russell to the right side, complete to Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Russell throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw on 2nd down. Russell finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Raiders add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come The Rams, they'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They run again with Jackson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Through an opening, and there he goes. 20. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Russell. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Bennett. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Let's go.
Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Russell, and he slings one that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Russell, he sets to fire deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, it's Jackson, and an alley to run. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down, and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go. Grand 38.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Come on, let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. In for the score. And the Rams can grab the lead if they hit the extra point. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point right down the middle. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Off the play fake. Russell. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The reception good for 7. It's third down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They come out here in the I. Try to punch it across with Bush. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. Hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Last season, the Raiders tried 2 two-point conversion attempts, and they were successful both times. They'll try another one now. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They're going to look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. John Gruden's return to the sideline going swimmingly thus far as his Raiders have the lead and another 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Bush. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And on the ground they go with a running back. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Leaping, and he makes the grab. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Oakland, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.